Hello and welcome again to my page. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to give you some top tips on how to deal perhaps with anxiety, how to bring yourself into a more mindful place, how to be more positive, in fact how to cultivate and create your own positivity. So this applies to everything in general, but particularly at the moment with things that are going on in the universe, in the planet, in the world. I'm aware that some people are feeling more anxious, more stressed, more aware. So if you are one of those people, this will be beneficial for you. However, these are techniques that will carry you through into the future, in every day, in every moment. So first of all, I really want to express to you that you can change the way you think. You can do that right now and into every day into your future. And if you change the way you think, you can change the way you feel, you can change your actions. And that's very important. You have a choice. You can choose right now. So the brain is wonderful. It's a little bit like a sponge. It's plastic, it has elasticity, and this is called neuroplasticity. And this means, just like the keyboard on a computer, how you program and you input a program, you can input this program into your mind. It also means it can be deleted and it can be changed. So right now you can choose what program you're putting into your mind. You can choose how you think, you can choose how you feel, and you can choose and make a decision today to choose to be more positive. More positive. So how can you do this? For example, by choosing words like I'm stressed, I'm really worried today, there's nothing I can do about that. That is not going to nourish your body. It's not going to nourish your soul. You are not cultivating or creating a positive environment within yourself. Now, you can cultivate peace. You truly, truly can. You can cultivate peace within yourself. Now, I'm not saying here today that you will have no problems and no worries. Absolutely, we are living in this world, we are living in this planet where we are going to experience problems, we're going to experience worries. However, what I'm suggesting to you today is that you can choose what to let go, you can choose what you can control, and you can choose what perhaps you don't need to worry about. So in the past, traditionally, psychology was more about focusing on the problem, focusing on what's going on, and issuing solutions and techniques to resolving them. This concept of positive psychology is actually very different. This is about recognizing and developing happiness within yourself, and within that becomes happiness within the brain, happiness within your life. So positive psychology. Positive psychology involves dialectics, the words we're telling to ourselves. It involves the words you're programming within yourself, choosing to be positive about the things you can be positive about, and choosing to let go of the things that you can't control and can't change in any way. This will in turn have an effect in the brain and in turn change your actions. So I am going to give you some top tips on how to become more grounded, how to be more mindful, and how to manage and create and cultivate this positivity within yourself. So the very first thing I'd like you to focus on is, can you choose to focus on, say for example, this current situation with the pandemic. I'm aware that a lot of people are off work. I'm aware that a lot of people are worried about finances, their house, their future, their jobs, worried about stressing about their health. They may get sick, they may not get sick, worrying about perhaps if they die or not. I mean, these are valid concerns and you can't throw them away, you can't issue them away. However, can you change them? By thinking about them, by worrying about them, is it going to change the fact that they may or may happen? May or may not happen. And I'd suggest to you today that you can't. By thinking about them, by ruminating on them, they're not going to change the outcome. If it's going to happen, it is truly going to happen. And if it's not going to happen, then what you've just done, you've just spent all that time and energy worrying about something that actually is never going to happen and hasn't happened. What a waste. What a waste of time. What a waste of energy. So can you let it go? Can you choose not to worry about something that may or may not happen in the future? Can you choose today to stay in this moment? That's the first thing I'd suggest. Can you choose to stay in this moment? Can you choose to look at something positive about what's going on? or maybe every day that's going on, rather than things that negatively that are going on. Can you choose to focus perhaps on some positive elements around some maybe uncomfortable elements that are happening right now? For example, perhaps you're enjoying more time with the family. Perhaps you get some more sunshine. Perhaps you're enjoying the little bit of time out to yourself to get back to projects you want to do. So these are real and valid positive things in your life. You're not making them up. You're not forcing the situation to be positive when it's not. You're accepting that at the moment there's crisis in the world and bad things are happening. So perhaps you've lost your job, or perhaps you're sick, or perhaps you've received a diagnosis and so forth. These are real, uncomfortable, bad things that are happening. You're not forcing to be positive about them. What you're doing is instead forcing or encouraging yourself to follow the flow of the positive thoughts of what is still positive in your life. What's still positive in your life. So it's suggested in order to have a good positive psychology in the brain that you have to have a ratio of 3 to 1. And that means for every one negative thought, you need 3 positive thoughts. It's a very good guideline in order for you to try remember to bring forward. A positivity journal is an excellent way of remembering the positive things. And remember, sometimes the positive things can be that you are breathing. You're alive. You're still breathing. Isn't that positive? The sun has risen today, and the sun will fall today. You have love in some regards. You can smell, you can see, you can hear. These are all positive things that are going around you at this moment. And I know they may seem silly in some regards, but if you're struggling for more positivity and ideas, then start small. Start with the little things. So choosing to let go and choosing to releasing those worries that are not in your highest good. And those worries and concerns that you can't change anyway. So what I'm saying here is choosing to let go of controlling the things you can't do and controlling the things you can do. You will probably feel better having an element of change within yourself. And what I mean by this is understanding that we all have a part to play. You have a part to play in your own happiness. You are in control of cultivating your own happiness. You are in control of how happy and how much you choose to be in a peaceful, positive place right now. And what I mean is by also you have personal responsibility, in fact, for that. No one else will take responsibility for your happiness. You have personal responsibility for that. You may choose that you can control some elements of externally to yourself that's going on. So perhaps you want to offer a donation to an organization that is perhaps on the front line. Maybe that will give you a sense of control that you are helping the world in a bigger way. Or perhaps you are a healer and you want to send out some Reiki healing, whatever way it is for you, that element of little bit of control that you can give. And giving out. But please remember that you are in control and you have personal responsibility about your thoughts and your feelings that are going on in this time. I also just want to talk about some physical aspects of some grounding and some mindfulness and bringing yourself down to the moment. And what I mean here is perhaps walking in your bare feet. Perhaps going to the ocean if you're beside an ocean. Feeling the sand, feeling the water, feeling that. Just feeling all of those lovely grounding exercises beneath your feet, the salt, the fresh water, the sand. And I know this sounds really basic and you're probably all doing it, but these little tiny little things can help. So from a physical aspect, lots and lots of water right now. Lots of water, focusing on the positive physical little things that you can do. Some grounding, noticing the feet, the breath, noticing the breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out, just staying in that breath. These are all excellent, really quick, easy techniques. There's an awful lot of mindfulness, and I'll be posting later on in this separate thread as well, a really lovely technique for this called a mountain technique, which is a mindfulness technique in order for you to remain grounded. So I'm going to be posting that separately, but I recommend you listen to this first. Okay, so another really important factor in order to help you be grounded with your emotions, physically and mentally. So a lot of people sometimes focus on and they're excellent and doing a great job of focusing grounding physically. However, you're not grounding and focusing on the mind, then it's really, really important. So the mind controls the body and the body controls the mind. So it's equally important to really focus on grounding the mind and the emotions. So this is in part where I'm talking about the positive psychology and how you can focus on the good and let go of what you can on the bad. Okay, so that's wonderful. So understanding that you all have a part to play, understanding that you have personal responsibility to choose positivity around you, encouraging the 3-to-1 ratio, which is what's recommended, choosing to input nourishing words to yourself. I should do this today. I should do that today. I could do this today. I could do that today. Much more nourishing words for you right now. Much more. You may be in a turmoil, you may be anxious, you may be worried, and you really need to try and come to this lovely idea of self-compassion and self-nourishment and what you need. Just like a seedling in a plant, it needs all these nourishments to grow. You need this to grow. You need this positive input in your mind. So I'd also encourage you to take a few mindful little techniques, perhaps like a mindful shower, feeling the water against your skin, feeling the soap, smelling it with every sense, all your activity. It means being fully present in this moment, and this is very important. You can't change or control the past, and in a certain degree you can't change the future. What's going to happen may happen anyway, this sense of destiny, and in the past it's already gone. You don't have a time machine right now. But all you can do is focus in the moment. So in this moment, you can choose to worry, you can choose not to worry, you can choose to be positive, you can choose not to be positive, you can choose to follow the negative flow of thoughts, or you can choose not to. But it's very, very important to stay in this moment of now. And right now you're well, you're healthy, you're breathing. So I'd also like to say that outside of yourself and inside of yourself. So you sometimes need to come inside of yourself to realize and to analyze and to assess and to feel what's going on. What I mean by that is perhaps you're noticing that your shoulders are tensed and sore, perhaps you carry stress on your lower back. So sometimes plugging into the body, asking your body, what's wrong today? What's going on? What are you trying to tell me? What is your body trying to tell you? This is all really, really valuable. So sometimes you may want to plug in and ask yourself, body, thank you for telling me that I'm stressed today. I can feel that on my back and I appreciate it. And now you need to look within the mind and ask the mind, what are you telling me? What worries are going on that I wasn't aware of? Okay, I'm aware of them now. Can I let them go? Perhaps you can, perhaps you can't. But the benefit in just being aware that they are existing and aware that they are there. And then other times you need to look outside of yourself. So perhaps the weather pattern inside of yourself is okay, but the weather pattern outside of yourself is not okay. Pandemic is happening. There's a global war crisis. Whatever seems to be going on, this is outside of yourself. And again, I'd ask you to adapt these techniques of can I change it? Can I control it? Is there anything I can truly do here? And perhaps you can in your own way. Some ways I suggested to you earlier, perhaps you, by being happy within yourself, and by shining your own inner light, perhaps this is the best thing you can do for everyone else. But however, you can only change what you can change, so there's no point worrying about them in between. And I hope that makes sense to you, this idea, this concept of positive psychology, of cultivating your own happiness, your own sense of peace, and your own well-being. For this expression, you have to put your own oxygen mask on first. Is truly important at these times more than ever. For within yourself, within your own grounding, both mentally and physically, you'll be able to balance everything around you. You'll be able to balance everyone around you much more easier. In fact, you'll be able to balance the good and the bad more effectively than ever before. Is it going to be easy? Perhaps not, perhaps it will, perhaps it won't. However, I would encourage that this is something that you need to start adapting or noticing you're adapting every single day. This idea of inviting, cultivating peace within yourself, and inviting and cultivating happiness within yourself, despite what's going on outside the world, despite the external weather patterns, making yourself an inner haven. acknowledging what's going on, letting go of the bad if you can, or at least accepting it if you can't. And that's absolutely perfect. Telling yourself that you're doing a wonderful, amazing job. You are here, you are breathing, you are doing well. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of me. I'm very proud of all of you. And I'm sure you are too. And bringing in that love within yourself as well is more important right now than ever before. So thank you for listening, and I'd encourage you to listen to the mountain grounding exercise as well. That will be up shortly. So thank you.